going to turn this over to Becky. Now, Becky, I want to check with you. Would you like to say anything before we play your message that you pre-recorded? Becky has donated hours and hours of time looking at the problem of conspiracy theories, misinformation, disinformation that has such a profound impact on the Cogitosphere, accelerated by social media. So Becky, we're going to share your video, but would you like to say a few words before we start it?
Well, thank you for listening, but no, I hope it speaks for itself.
Thanks for being with us, Becky, and thanks for donating all that time to look at this crucial issue.
Do you know America's President John Kennedy was murdered by the Central Intelligence Agency? 9/11 was created by people in our own government who want a deep state. Bill Gates created the pandemic, and vaccines have microchips that track us all. Airplane contrails are delivering chemicals that control and sterilize us. And perhaps scariest of all, there's this secret cabal of cannibalistic pedophiles who run a global sex trafficking ring that controls politicians, the media, and Hollywood. To most of us, this just sounds crazy, yet research shows that 50% of Americans believe in at least one conspiracy theory. We are all vulnerable. Our brains are wired to carry suspicion of unknown people as a survival strategy. We look for and find patterns, especially during times of chaos. We rely on social thinking and experts for much of what we believe, which makes us vulnerable, especially when the leaders speak mistruths. The lowest income and less educated people are more vulnerable. Exposure to traditional media can reduce belief in conspiracy theories. But media has changed, and it blurs the boundary between fact and opinion. There's a 24-hour news cycle, diversity and polarization of news stations, and low-cost commentary now substitutes for investigative reporting. Social media companies hire attention engineers and have computerized algorithms to provide content mirroring what you have already seen. MIT researchers have shown that misinformation spreads 6 times faster on the internet than fact, and yet many Americans get their news from social media. There has been a measurable and significant erosion of trust in all of our institutions and media, leading to the spread of conspiracy theories. In the book, How Propaganda Works, Jason Stanley says social inequity is really the cause. Advantaged groups control the media and politics, but disadvantaged groups buy into the message. So, for example, you might believe America is the land of opportunity, but you personally don't have opportunity, so you're vulnerable to look for an outgroup to blame. So income inequality growth gives conspiracy theories fertile ground. One of the most devastating impacts of conspiracy theories was the fabricated Protocols of the Elders of Zion, a text that described the Jewish domination of the world. As Hitler rose to power, it was taught in German schools and contributed to the genocide of millions. In South Africa, 300,000 deaths have been attributed to the conspiracy theory that AIDS was a hoax to sell expensive drugs. Steve Paddock killed 60 people due to his mistaken belief that the government was trying to take guns from Texans. As if genocide, violence, and death weren't enough, there are other impacts. People looking for social connection can find themselves isolated from family and friends when they believe in conspiracy theories. They're less likely to vote, to volunteer, to donate, or even to invest in the stock market. Democracy itself is undermined when there cannot be agreement on a set of facts. Once an individual believes in a conspiracy theory, it's virtually impossible to change. Rebutting the theory can backfire and increase in belief simply by exposure. Thus, prevention is the key. Teaching media literacy can have some impact. Deplatforming or banning the spreaders of conspiracy theory and conspiracy theory entrepreneurs has been effective, and perhaps legislation should be considered to change filtering and search algorithms on social media. Social isolation can lead to belief in conspiracy theory, but those who believe these theories can find themselves isolated from family and friends. Politicians and media polarization causes the theories to grow, but conspiracy theory also causes polarization. These theories can undermine faith in the media and government, but lack of faith contributes to conspiracy theories. Crises are a time when these theories grow, but belief in them can also further crisis. Now, more than ever, we need to rely on fact to control the crisis of climate change and the pandemic. We have to break this vicious and very dangerous cycle. Social equity is the key to do so. To truly prevent conspiracy theory, we need a culture that avoids the humiliation of social inequity and injustice. As a culture, we must value the truth. When dignity is supported through education, empowerment through opportunity and voting rights, people are less susceptible. Social equity and the avoiding of humiliation is the true solution to conspiracy theory, and, as the theme of the conference says, provides dignity through solidarity.
Please give Becky a round of applause for, boy, she really had lots of research and she had to narrow it down to 5 minutes. So Becky, I hope you know how much we appreciate your contribution to the workshop. Your work reminds me of the Nobel Peace Prize recipient of this year.
Thank you.
Maria Ressa, who says, if you have no facts, you have no truths, and you can't have trust. And if you don't have any of these, you don't have democracy. Beyond that, if you don't have facts, you don't have a shared reality. So you can't solve the existential problems of climate and the coronavirus. So thank you for making that contribution. We hope to turn that presentation and the rest of your research into a working paper that will be posted online for everyone to tap into for future interest. So everyone, please give Becky a round of applause with your little reaction icons. Hooray. Thank you so much.